Hello, this is Adrienne with Hamilton Homestead. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here today. So this recipe is called a depression casserole. And I think it's because it uses inexpensive and readily available ingredients that might even be leftovers. Now, of course, readily available is going to vary depending on where you are and the season that we're in. But it's safe to say that these recipes were heavy on canned goods and grains and beans and pasta and vegetables, and more expensive items like meat and dairy and eggs and that sort of things were used very sparingly. The goal always being to make a nutritious meal with minimal cost. And depression recipes are simply made. There's, no fancy cooking methods or special equipment needed. Now, Hoover stew is one that comes to mind, and is a well-known depression dish that is, in its simplest form, had pasta and sausage and onions, tomatoes, and oftentimes dried beans. Of course, there's lots of different variations that, and you can add herbs and spices and canned goods and seasonal vegetables or things in your refrigerator that need to be used up. But nonetheless, it's always simple and it's always cheap. So today, the recipe I'm loosely following is a depression casserole that uses ground beef, rice, potatoes, celery, onions, carrots, and tomato. I'll put the ingredients list in the description box. So let's get going. This recipe that I'm using says to brown 1 to 2 pounds of beef in fat. So I'm going to use bacon fat. I think that was probably readily available. Okay, I'm going to push that off to the side a bit, and onions, carrots, and celery going. I'm going to add just a little bit of the broth. We've got 2 cups of beef broth here. I'm going to add just a little bit, like half a cup. Put the lid on this and bring those vegetables up to heat. Okay, these vegetables are hot. That's beautiful. Now, I had 2 or 3 tomatoes that were getting some age on them. The skin felt a little bit tough, so I did go ahead and skin them, but I'm going to use these. The recipe didn't call for it, but of course it calls for crushed tomatoes, so I'm sure this will be fine. And garlic and parsley. And either powdered onion or minced onion, dehydrated. It's 1 teaspoon. And we need to get some black pepper in here. Oh boy, that garlic just adds so much aroma and flavor. Of course, if you don't have fresh, use dried. Same with the parsley. I happen to have fresh on both, so that's what I used. Okay, so that's hot. Now goes 1 quart of tomato sauce, tomato puree, or diced tomatoes. the rest of that beef broth, which we had 2 cups to start with, and we will bring this up to heat. Wow, it's really pretty. Okay, we'll give that 5 or 6 minutes to heat up, and we'll be back. Okay, 5 minutes later, and we're hot again. The recipe does not call for corn. I'm going to add a can of corn with the liquid. There's a lot of flavor in the liquid on corn, so I'm going to use it. The recipe also does not call for spinach, but I have fresh spinach, so I'm going to put a little in. Boy, that corn added a lot of fun color, didn't it? And the last 2 things to go in is the 1 cup of rice. I have rinsed it, and I'm using a jasmine rice. And the 1 pound of waxy potatoes. These are red, obviously. And that's it. So basically, after the rice and the potatoes are done, this meal is complete. Now, I am going to taste it after the rice is done, because you know I like to season in layers. And really the only layer that I've seasoned so far was adding that salt to the ground meat and that little bit of parsley and garlic. So we'll taste this. I think it'll probably take about 15 minutes for the potatoes and the rice, but let's check them in 15 and see if it's done. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, so let's give this a taste and see how it is. And I also want to take this minute, if you are enjoying this video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate all of you who have already subscribed. And if you haven't had a chance to yet and you like what you're seeing, please take a moment and subscribe. Okay, let's give this a taste. Wow, it smells amazing. The consistency is nice. This is a nice casserole type consistency. You don't want it soupy and you don't want it dry. Let's see if the potatoes are done. The potatoes are done, the rice will be done. Yep, potatoes are soft. Nice. And let's see if we need to correct any of the seasoning. Oh, it's really, really hot. Give me a second. It's got a nice tomatoey flavor, nice garlic flavor. Oh, I really like it. I do think it needs just one more hint of salt, and that's the only thing it needs. This is really good, and it doesn't need anything else. This is a full meal. You've got your protein, you've got your starch, you've got your vegetables, and it tastes wonderful. This is really good food. But I am going to garnish it. You know me, I like to garnish and make it pretty. I think I've got cheddar cheese already grated. Let me go look, and then we will plate this up. Isn't that pretty? I like the addition of the corn. Of course, it doesn't have to have it. That's the beauty of a dish like this. I've got a little bit of cheese. And a little bit of fresh parsley. Oh, there's a little green onion in here. Why not? Well, I have to tell you, this was super easy to make. I didn't use any special tools or equipment. It went together so easy. And it's so flavorful. The beef broth with the tomato base, the garlic, everything works on this dish. It's beautiful. You need to give it a try. It's definitely a repeat and a thumbs up. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you in a few days. Bye now.